Hey there, how's it going? Today I want to talk about the Ace Hawk Venom. This rod is, honestly, when I first got it, I sort of loved it, but there was a couple of things I didn't love about it, and then I hated it. Now I love it again, and I'm going to tell you why. In fact, I think this might be one of the best values in fishing rods going. This rod has gone through some redesign. I've actually had both versions of it, and when I first got it, the very first, I like the way it looked. I like the way it feels. The look and the feel still is the same. There's a couple key differences though that they changed. The biggest one being the reel seat. So in the original, the reel seat didn't have room to fit most reels comfortably. Like, it was really difficult to get a reel on it, and I covered that in my initial unboxing video.
There could be a small problem here. I may not be able to get the reel fit. That barely fits on there. It's going now.
But once I got one on there, it fished just fine. I only got a few trips in it though, because on either my second or third trip, the tip snapped. And I think I was trying to get a snag out of a tree, and so I was just sort of, oh.
Well, that ends today's fishing trip. Another rod bites the dust. That's disappointing. You know, it's kind of interesting. I don't really treat any of my rods any different than the other ones. There is something to be said for the quality of the rod, I think.
And I just left it the way it was. Like, that's how everything ended up when it snapped. The cool thing is I can confirm that this is a hollow tip, so that was maybe a benefit of that. I wasn't really very keen on the Ace Hawk Venom, and at some point I posted in one of the forums about my experience with it, because somebody had asked about it. Peter Kim, maybe from the Bait Finesse channel, had said, you know, they redesigned that rod, so maybe the new version would be pretty good. And so when I looked at it, I'm like, oh yeah, it is different. So I reached out to Ace Hawk and said, hey, I bought one of these and here's what happened. And they responded like, let us make it up to you and we're going to send you a replacement for free. I'm like, okay, sounds good. And it was from AliExpress, so it took like 6 weeks or whatever, but it got here. But here's the thing. They didn't send me just one replacement. They sent me two. Like, they sent me the 5'6" version and the 7-foot version. Maybe it's 7'1". I'm going to talk about both of them because I've fished both of them a good bit. But the first one is, how can you tell if you have the old version or the new version? To me, the biggest way, without getting into a bunch of other things, is the logo. The logo on the old version had this skull, which I kind of liked. The new version sort of has this, I don't know, Indian lotus looking thing. That's the easiest way to tell, is if you look at those two things, they are significantly different. On the new one, the handle is just a little bit longer as well. These are both the same size rod, but the handle's a little bit longer. And that actually addressed one other thing. In the original one, the grip just didn't fit my hand really well. It's like it hit me just in the wrong spot. And just that extra little bit of length puts it right where it should be. So the 5'6" version is rated from 0.8 to 5 grams with 1 to 4 pound line. 7-foot version, try not to break it here. The 7-foot version is rated from 1 to 6 grams, also 1 to 4 pound test. 7-foot version is a 3-piece rod, and so it breaks into 3 pieces. Which are, somewhere around, 2.5 feet long each. And then the 5'6" rod is a 2-piece rod. And so same thing, they're around 2.5 feet. Now it's funny, I was just sitting there joking around about wanting to make sure I didn't break the tip. And I look at this, the tip of the 7-foot rod broke apparently the last time I had it out. That brings me to durability with these rods. The sensitivity and the flexibility with them obviously creates a little bit of a problem. Maybe you need to break these things down and transport them in the sheath every single time, because granted, I've probably fished this one half a dozen times now, but I honestly can't figure out when that would have broken, because I would have pulled the reel out of it, and so it literally might have broken storage. Maybe I need to go look, see if I can find the tip in there. So I've owned 3 of these. One of them got 2 or 3 trips. The other one got about 6 trips. This one isn't, it's barely even dirty. That's probably the negative on this rod. This is a $45 rod in the 7-foot version. It's a $42 rod in the 5'6" version. If you are at all, I guess, rough on rods, I don't feel like I am. I mean, this one is I grab 2 or 3 of them together. I throw them in the truck. I carry them on the kayak. I put them in either a corner or in a rod holder, and somehow this one has still found a way to break the tip off of it. No, it is a very thin tip, right? This tip is very thin, but it's definitely a little aggravating. So that is the negative on the Ace Hawk Venom. If you can get past that, if you can protect them and keep them from breaking, I think it's a great rod. Sort of funny. I was thinking about keeping the 7-foot because there just aren't a lot of great options in the 7-foot length that can throw really light lures. So as we were designing the current line of bait finesse rods, which are not budget at all, like you're going to be able to buy a handful of these for the price of one of the ones that I'm working on. I said, hey, this is one of the things I'd like to have. And so we designed it. Right? And so there will be 7-foot versions coming out in that line as well. I'm like, okay, well, I'll get rid of this one too. And now I definitely will because, yet another tip is broken. Ace Hawk Venom. It's a good budget rod. Obviously, they push the envelope of manufacturing to get the sensitivity that you're trying to get to. It's not... The feel sensitivity is not at like a world-class level, but it's good. It's definitely good. At this point, I have to question the durability. I've only broken, knock on wood, I've only broken 3 rods in the last 10 years, and 2 of them have been Ace Hawk Venoms in the last year or less, probably in the last 9 months. $42, $45. Link is down there. I still recommend it. Like, you just have to understand that they have a potential, they're very delicate, right? They are a delicate rod. And so I guess with anything venomous, you got to take care. And so that's the case with these. It's a great combo. Drop shot, the 7-footer was incredible. I loved using it for drop shots. Just, with this latest, I really have to question the durability. Again, they do all come in this nice padded case. It's one of the nicest cases that I've gotten from any of the sort of the AliExpress rods, up to like 75, 80 bucks. I guess maybe I should throw the 5'6" in this case right now. That's where they should be unless you're going to actively fish them. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.